All right, guys. Hopefully, I've fixed some of the problems that we've had in the last two matches. I was using the incorrect, what's it called? The incorrect settings here on OBS. I think is what was going on. Hopefully, things will be a little bit smoother here, and we'll have less of the sort of tearing and breaking and all of those other problems. And so we'll see what happens here today. We are hosting Sheffield. We're apparently even with them in terms of our ability, which would be really surprising to me. Let's see what happens. We are in blue this time, familiar blue and white, and let's see if we can get something going. Sarapong does his duty by promptly losing possession. Fortunately, Danielowitz is able to grab that, throws over to Cunningham, and let's see if we can get something on. He passes it up top to nobody. Sarpong grabs it over to Cunningham, and that's the end of that highlight. We have another one right off the top, and let's see if we can get this ball back. It's one in midfield, Hensley was called for being offside when they weren't even attacking. It's another one of those kind of strange offside calls. We've seen a number of those here lately. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be. There's Sarapong over to Seong, finds Masters, and he's behind the defense. Over to Boyce, and he has a shot, and unfortunately that is saved. That was a really good save by their keeper. And boy, that was pretty exciting, I tell you. We don't look great, but we're looking a little bit better every time we play. That was a real good pass to Boyce, and that shot had a lot of potential. Here's Badhawi now with the throw over to Seong. Ends up with Sarpong, who finds Masters far side, and he heads it over, but that is grabbed by their keeper, and that's the end of that. So about 10 minutes into this match, no score yet. Pudil with a shot on goal, and that is also grabbed by their keeper. So we're getting a lot of shots here on target. Here's another one. It is Chu with another header, and that header's a little bit high, so it doesn't quite work out as well as we were hoping. It's going to be Badhawi who wins this down at the bottom of the screen. Cunningham then goes back and wins it again over to Danielowitz up to Chu. I mean, we're looking pretty good. I watched some of the highlights from our last game, the 3-0 loss, and we looked pretty good in attack there as well. So there's a lot of good things to talk about here. Seong with this over to De Gromlio, and that somebody was called for offside there clearly, and the highlight just ended. There's Seong again, and he passes that one back, and boy, that didn't work very well, did it? And so now it's going to be Sheffield with the attack. And fortunately, Brogan's attempt to lob the keeper ends up lobbing the whole goal, and it doesn't work out so well. Danielowitz over to Pudil. Passes over to Horan, Masters, and then Boyce, and that's just a little bit too far forward for Boyce. It doesn't quite work out the way that we were hoping. And so it is. It's nothing new for us to give up possession. But in this match, I would like to think that we've actually done pretty well and that we're not just sort of wasting our time running around, that we actually do have a chance at making something happen here. And we go back and win this in the back again. Chu has actually been pretty solid there in defense. So I like what I've seen from him. This is forward for Boyce, and he can't quite get over to it. And boy, that was really bad. We sort of set them up, and fortunately that one is up and over for another goal kick. So we've avoided giving up another goal. De Gromlio over to Seong, and that's just a little bit too far out in front of him. But Cunningham's there to win it in midfield, and there's another pass over to Seong. Now, is he offside? That's the question. He is. He is. So Seong, unfortunately, was a little bit offside. It was probably a little bit too close for the official to just ignore. About 20 minutes into this match now, still no score, and that's not going to bother the keeper at all. Danielowitz is able to grab that over to De Giralmo, however you say his name. Seong over to Boyce, down to Badhawi. Badhawi passes this forward for Sarpong, and he's going to be called for offside again. Yeah, that one I thought was pretty obvious. So we're getting the ball where we want it, but we can't seem to stay onside. Cunningham over to Badhawi. Badhawi is going to be flagged for offside. So we've seen that happen a number of times here. We're still trying to figure out how to play with each other. Now Pudil over looking for Seong, and that ends up being headed out for a corner. And I think this is the first corner that we've seen so far in this match. We're going to go, looks like near post here. And there's a lot of red there to try to get past, and they did a pretty good job of defending that. Fortunately, though, we have enough guys back to prevent them from having anything even close to a counterattack. And that's the way you do it with your corners. You want to make sure that you've got enough guys back just in case you don't get ahead onto it, or in case you have a team like ours where if you got ahead onto it, they don't know what to do with it. There's Masters 4 looking for Seong, and that doesn't quite work. He gave up on that one. He knew that there was no way he was going to get it. Sarpong now to Masters, back to De Girolamo, over to Chu, up to Pudil. Pudil forward for Horan, who's behind the defense, and he takes a shot and scores. So Kigran Horan gets his first goal of the season, and that makes it 1-0 for Hallam. Hey, we have a lead. We haven't had a lead yet. We're up 1-0. Can you believe it? This team has the ability to score goals. This team might have the ability to actually win a game. Horan pulled that one down nicely and put it in right past the keeper, and it's 1-0 for Hallam. And I don't think anybody was expecting that one. We'll take another look at this for a possible offside call. Well, we did have a guy offside. Horan wasn't, but yeah, we got away with one there, and that's all right. Let's learn what we need to learn from that and win the ball in midfield again. There you go. Horan over to it was Masters who did so good to win it, and then he just lost it as soon as it touched his toe. And Danielowicz saves the day with a big save there. That was good. Gotta love lower league play, don't you? And let's see if we can win this ball off of them again. It's our master there in the back who knocks that one away. And they call that for offside. And again, I'm not quite sure what that call was. So, I mean, if the official is going to continue to call the Sheffield players offside for nothing, we will take it. Masters wins this in midfield down to Seong. Seong forward for Pudil. Pudil takes forever to get to it, does finally win it, plays with a little bit, and loses it right away. And now we have to worry about a potential counterattack, and there's somebody there who's going to run that ball down from behind, and we do end up preventing them from having even close to a shot on goal. And here we have it again. It's another movement forward, and Seong's going to have this in a good position over to Sarpong, who can't quite get there in time. That was a really good cross, and Sarpong, I think, wasn't expecting it. That's the one problem that we have. It's cohesion, learning how to play together, and we need a little bit more of that. I know that the players don't have that much skill, but we're playing pretty well considering our skill level. We just need to get to play together a little bit more. Masters with this header, and he almost scored the second for us, and that was another good shot. So we're getting a lot of shots in, a lot of shots on goal that we like to see. Seong with this over to Horan. Horan forward to Sarpong, and that's just a little bit beyond him, but then he wins it, and instead of doing something with it, he takes a shot from the middle of nowhere. It's one of those Steph Curry jobs. We don't necessarily want to see that. If you can score from out there, you can go ahead and shoot, but he can't score from there, I'll tell you that. Boyce does well to win this and then takes a shot and misses the goal. There's nobody in front of the goal. This is ridiculous. This is one for your memes right here. Pierrepont knocks this straight forward into Boyce. Boyce wins it. Pierrepont's not even close to the goal, decides to stop way back there, and the shot from Boyce is unfortunately over everybody's head and was not even close to getting into the goal. Pudil now looking for Cunningham, can't quite find him. It's going to be back to Sarpong, over to Pudil again. De Girolamo, who takes a shot. He's a defender. You're supposed to pass. So that doesn't quite work all that well. And we have maybe a minute here before halftime. Danielowicz makes a really dangerous decision by going out to get that ball. I guess that's why he's on a supporting role or something like that. I don't know. And we've given up the ball right away anyway. It doesn't really matter. Cunningham over to Danielowicz, over to Chu, and we're just sort of waiting out the time to the half. Boyce gets this over to Horan again. Forward for Seong. He's behind the defense. And that's not really much of an angle for a shot. So that doesn't it doesn't really work. This is one of those things where, like, you ever see a dog, catch like a squirrel by accident, and then he doesn't know what to do with it? That's what Seong was there. I mean, all respect to the guy who's got one of the 2 goals we have this season, but he just didn't know what to do. He got the ball, and then it's like, well, now what do I do? So 1-0, we're ahead here going to the half. Keep working hard, and we hopefully will be able to win the match. That would be nice. And so let's see how we do for the next couple of minutes. Now we have to hope that they didn't make any major changes here at the half. It looks like the officiating crew has decided to actually call fouls, which is unfortunate for us. Here's Pudil now with a free kick, and this ends up being headed up and out, and so that doesn't really do much at all, does it? We've got about 40 minutes here left to play defense. Poodle over to Boyce, back to Chu. Chu knocks us all the way back to our keeper, and it goes back to Chu again. So let's see what we can do with this ball now. Masters over to Haran. Haran goes back to Danielowitz, and that's not what we want to see. It goes over to Chu again. Chu up to De Girolamo, to Cunningham. Cunningham, one of the players that we're actually paying money to. Badhawi back to Cunningham to Sarpong, over to Masters. Masters knocks us forward, looking for Haran, who was just sort of standing there biding his time, didn't really know that the ball was coming. Here's Boyce with a really, really good job, and he loses it and then wins it, and then Fergus Boyce gets his goal, and it's 2-0 Hallam. How about that? So Boyce does a great job in defense, great job of staying with the play, and it is a great job not just winning the ball, but putting it into the back of the net the way he's supposed to. Look at that. Very, very well read. And then he has it taken away from him, and he gets it back again from Seong, and it's back in there, and it is 2-0 for Hallam. I can't believe it. We are winning 2-0 against Sheffield. Can you imagine? Everybody thought this was going to be a draw, and, well, we better be careful. We don't want to count our chickens too soon here. Boyce unable to get to it that time, and that's out for a corner. Yes. Fielding is forced to put the ball behind is what it says down below. I'm sure that's what he intended to do. Poodle knocks his corner forward. That's a major league corner, and unfortunately it doesn't get onto anybody's head, and that's the end of that. Cunningham here with the ball again around midfield, and he just gives up possession like there's nothing to it. Fortunately, though, Cuts for Sheffield doesn't know where the goal is. That was pretty bad. This is your classic lower league play. I mean, it's pretty bad. If we could get a defender who could hold on to the ball, it would be nice. Our keeper was way out of position, by the way. It's a lot of fun. Poodle here with the throw over to Haran. Haran up to De Girolamo, over to Boyce now, and Boyce doesn't quite even try to get there. It's kind of unfortunate. He would have had a second goal if he'd been paying attention. Poodle forward for Seong, and he's got this, and he blasts that one in. Kelvin Seong with his second of the season blasts that one into the back of the net. 3-0 for Hallam. 3-0 for Hallam here, and we're about 60 minutes into this match. I was not expecting this at all today. This is incredible. Seong gets this ball down and says, out of my way, and knocks that one into the back of the net like there's nothing to it. We're up 3-0, about 60 minutes into this match, and I mean, how sweet it is. This is just incredible. I was never have imagined. I didn't think we were going to win a single match all season. We didn't do so with FC Seoul the last time that we played with them, except for that match against Guangzhou. Well, that one didn't really count. And here we are against Sheffield, and we're up 3-0. And we look like we're hungry for more. Now let's see if we can play defense. And Chu does an excellent job knocking that one out for a corner. Bawaldi, I think who that was, had a chance to keep that one in, but decided to give up on it. There's a lot of giving up on it here at this level. Sarpong, I think, was the one who got ahead onto that there, and then he goes and deflects it again. Then Danielowitz is able to catch that out of the sky. Very, very good job. And I tell you, this team doesn't look too bad, does it? Poodle here now with the free kick, and he takes a shot on goal, and it forces a good save. Poodle is going to score a goal one of these days, I'll tell you what. Badhawi now throws over to Boyce. Cunningham over to Chu. Back to De Girolamo, over to Cunningham again. Back to De Girolamo, and he lumps this one forward, and he finds Poodle. There he is. That's the right person to find. Poodle with a good crossover to Boyce, finds Badhawi all alone, and that ends up being a goal kick for some reason. I guess that was off the side. I thought that was saved. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, whatever. We won't worry about it too much. There's nothing we can do about it other than watch Cuts try to do some sort of miraculous shot from the worst angle possible. Poodle here now with the corner. And unfortunately, that one did get on a player's head, but he did nothing with it. Now it's Haran who's fouling from behind, and that will prevent their counter-attack, so that worked. We have 15 minutes left. It's going to be Chu here with this in the back over to Boyce in a good position, and his cross ends up hitting off a defender. It doesn't work. Badhawi now. Forward for Haran, can't find him. Masters heads this one the other way, and Boyce was in the right place and just didn't see the ball going by him. If he, if he were a step further back, it would have been offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway, but with a little bit more luck, it could have been a pass to him. We could have had a second goal for Boyce. As Chu forward for Seong. Seong pulls this down, crosses it, and that is knocked out for another corner. Hey, we're not doing too bad here, are we? We got about 10 minutes left here of normal time. Poodle with the corner and hammers that one in. There's nobody's head on it at all. We've made them look pretty bad. They're trying for a counterattack here. We have a bunch of players sort of standing there. Unfortunately, we don't know that you need to go back to try to prevent the attack instead of just standing there watching the guy go past you. Now we have another opportunity to play defense, and we actually don't do that. We just let them take a wild shot from far away. I mean, if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. They can do that all that they want. They're more than I'm more than happy to grant them the ability to take these shots from way out there. Doesn't matter. Boyce pulls this down over to Seong, back to Badhawi. Sandygate's going to see victory for us. Here's Seong with this, and he's going to cross it, baby. Crosses it back to Badhawi over to Haran. Haran with this over to Pudil, crosses over to Badhawi, and that forces a save. And man, I tell you, we had a couple of good angles there for a couple of shots. Here's Pudil again with the corner. Pudil, the 36-year-old, who will not be with this club anymore at the end of the season. He's got to be happy that we won a game. I bet he wasn't expecting we were going to win anything. And we have, 3 minutes of added time, about 2 minutes remaining. Boy, I tell you, we got lucky there. Danielowitz was doing cartwheels in the goal instead of paying attention where the ball was. And here's Sarpong pulling this down finally. Cunningham over to Seong. Seong brings this forward, and it's a pass straight to the defender. Good job. And now they have another attack. And unfortunately, Danielowitz is where he needs to be, and that is out for a throw. That's pretty good, and we only have a couple seconds left. I do want to see this again. So this was one of those sort of Hail Mary, pray for rain type attacks, and it was Cutts again with a good shot, and Danielowitz was right where he needed to be. We only have a couple of seconds left, and here comes the pass in, and Pudil is able to knock that out for a corner, so that's something. We're not exactly world beaters, I'll tell you that, but beating Sheffield, who are our rivals, is something we definitely want to see. And Borgen should be offside, and they're not going to call that, so it doesn't really matter anyway, and that's the final whistle. We haven't just won this match, we have dominated. So we have a 2.31 XG, 61% of the possession. We scored 3 goals, and we looked pretty good in doing it. How about that? Hope you enjoyed this match. I wasn't expecting us to win a match this early. Hey, this might be a sign of good things to come. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.